Rooted in resilience, inspired by nature, powered by movement. The podcasts where healing meets empowerment. Let's rise and thrive together. And now, here are your hosts, Scott and Melissa.
Hey, everybody. We just wanted to pop in and let you know about our Sedona Soul Retreat coming up in June of 2026, June 2nd through the 6th in Sedona, Arizona, where we're going to have it at.
The Briar Patch.
This
beautiful, it's just this amazing little nugget
Yeah.
in Sedona where you think the big red rocks, which you'll see those, of course. But then there's this little sanctuary of green. And one of my dear beings that just shared with me this morning that they will be attending looked it up and was like, oh, that's my place.
Yeah.
They just felt the connection, and it's very spiritual energy there. And we're excited for holding space for all of us to be in that frequency, that vibration.
It's right on Oak Creek, and we were down there just a few weeks ago checking it out to ensure it was the right fit for our folks. And we are excited about this retreat. It's our second retreat, and we're on our way to selling out. So please check it out at Vital Edge Wellness Coaching Wellness Retreats. You'll see it at vitalwellnesscoaching.com, Wellness Retreats, and sign up. Bring a friend. There's plenty of room. If you'd like double occupancy, you can come down, and we have private cottages and a lodge setting. So that's it.
It's exciting.
Enjoy the podcast.
Yeah, we'll see you there. Hello, everyone. We just want to take a moment. It is the beautiful season of fall and heading towards some amazing holiday time with family and friends. So we wanted to offer a little reprieve, and we've had some requests for our past videos, accolades for them. And so we're going to play those and take a little break during our holiday time, let you enjoy time with your family and yourself. If you have an individual, I love some of that quiet time. There we go.
Yeah, so enjoy some past episodes from Rise and Thrive, a podcast by Vital Edge, and we'll see you soon. Hello, welcome back to Rise and Thrive, a podcast by Vital Edge Wellness Coaching. I am your co-host, Scott Sadler, with Melissa Hedstrom, and today we're in deep gratitude, and we're going to get into deeper gratitude as we talk about the importance of gratitude. Now, you've heard enough times in the very beginning, so
gratitude.
You'll be tired of that word by the time we're done. But in the meantime,
we're going to be grateful.
We're going to be grateful because Melissa's going to ground us.
Yes.
In gratitude.
All right. Comfortable seat, please. Eyes open or closed, depending on your location. So big sigh when you're ready, and let that sigh come from the space below your rib cage, not the upper chest. So go down into the belly, breathe it in. And then just let it out. And as it comes out, let the shoulders drop, the chest soften, the jaw relax, the forehead soften, the little furrow in the brow becomes smooth. And let's just take a moment to simply be aware that you are breathing. Your body is breathing for you. That's simple gratitude right there. And even if you might be a little stuffy or something like that, you're like, oh, there's times when I've been clearer in breath. I have gratitude for that. And gratitude that your body is healing. And what I'd like to do right now with that awareness of your breath happening for you, in and out, is I want you to pick one word, positive word, please. And I want you just, whatever comes to mind, please don't overthink it. Just grab one positive word and gently repeat it on the wave of the next few breaths. And if it floated away, bring it back for about 2 more breaths and gently repeat that word as you breathe in and breathe out. Go ahead and open your eyes. I got so relaxed that little timer just dropped out of my hand. So
Grateful it's plastic.
I'm grateful it's plastic. Yeah. So not to tease with that word, we were talking before about gratefulness and what we just did there when I had you pick a word. And that's what I thought we'd begin with a little bit is words carry energy and frequency and vibration. And when we can be in, many of us have probably heard there's lots of studies out there now about gratitude, feeling gratitude lists, those kind of things, right? It's not just touchy-feely. It actually creates a new frequency and vibration in you. And whatever positive word you just were repeating, have gratitude for that. That came up to you to send that frequency through your body that word carries.
Following up on our fear
Topic
from our previous episode, your negative words have frequencies too. And so Melissa's point is lots of points in there. One of the things you can consider is anything you say has a frequency. Gratitude gives you the choice to have a higher level frequency.
Good one. Yeah. Yeah, because that's the power of words, right? We've heard that. And I love, what's that one person's that?
We're so good at quoting people.
Well, the water.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Emery.
So power of words on water and water freezing, and you can see the negative words and the way the water molecules froze together versus the positive words. And I think of a dear, sweet friend when you listen to this at one of our self-care Saturdays. This is just random, coming in, sharing it. I gave these little plants of herbs to each individual at our self-care Saturday. And just yesterday, she sent me pictures, and one of them was she got basil, a beautiful purple basil. And she sent me a picture of this gigantic tree of basil. And I was like, holy hell, I've never been able to grow something like that. And this individual just has that beautiful love and care for plants. Like, then she sent me pictures where she pulled over because she saw these amazing, beautiful mushrooms that are growing in this, and that energy, that frequency that people have, you hear about talking to plants, right? I don't know why I went off on that, but it's probably the words, right? The power of the words. But that's part of why gratitude lists and journals and those kind of things, and why, we come around Thanksgiving time. And I also, I often will bring up in my yoga classes and stuff of like, gratitude. What is your word that you want to grab onto and repeat? Because you don't even have to believe it. Just a repetition of that vibration has a frequency.
Which ultimately will change your belief.
Right. And then it also,
stick with it.
Yeah. And that frequency vibrates your cells. And that's what, when we watch the cells heal.
Yeah.
And communicate. It's incredible.
Well, and I feel like we're doing the opposite of fear, because we talked in the fear episode about but gratitude actually is really good for your chemistry and your
feel good hormones.
Yeah, feel good hormones.
Oxytocin,
exactly.
Serotonin stuff gets boosted. So,
which helps you relax, which in turn helps you feel more at peace, which then leads to better thoughts and more feelings of accomplishment and fulfillment and joy. And I think you saying you don't have to believe it, a whole topic, because you have to I'm not a big fan of fake it until you make it. Believe me, I'm not. But in this case, I will say I'm a cheerleader for it. Having been through it myself, you have to just find, as hard as it can be sometimes, find the gratitude in a bad situation so that you can not be stuck in that dark fear or concern or negative self-talk, whatever it may be. Gratitude can change that in your body, and your body chemicals change and your mindset changes.
Well, I want to add on with that, our topic of fear, right? That is built into our wiring. That is an automatic. And we don't even sometimes have a say over that because we have that fight, flight, freeze mechanism to protect ourselves. We don't have a gratitude, joy, happy mechanism in ourselves.
It's a learned behavior.
We have to nourish it. We have to grow it. So that's what makes it difficult. That's what makes the gratitude over here kind of like touchy-feely, like, oh yeah, I'll just be grateful. Because our negative bias is it's part of our
wiring.
It's part of our gift. It comes with the package.
The brain's always scanning the room every 4 seconds or so for safety.
Yeah.
And so imagine your whole life your brain's always scanning for safety. So
especially if you've had a background of stress,
you're wired. Yeah. Then it gets worse. Right. And so you're absolutely right. I'm glad you bring that up, because gratitude is not a natural state per se, but it can be taught, and it could become your natural state.
Yeah. I just remember for me where it came in is, and I don't know, I thank the powers that be, the universe, because for some reason, somehow I got exposed, and early on, I just remember repeating up positive words. I had a lot of negative self-talk, a lot of insecurity, a lot of low self-esteem. And so somehow, I don't know how, or I got exposed to it, whether it was a teacher, what, but I just remember somehow grabbing on to repeating a positive phrase.
You remember what it was?
You are pieces of it, like you are strong, you are beautiful, you are, because I didn't feel any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember creating it, and I would just repeat it, even if I didn't believe it. But something taught me to like keep repeating it. And not that I don't struggle with those other things still to a degree, I'm able to grab onto those words and to change my frequency.
Yeah, not just your frequency, but you've actually changed your life, and maybe even your look or your place or all these things from that repetitive affirmation of joy and gratitude. And for me, you talk about going way back, and when I was young, when I was a teenager and into my early 20s, I was a super negative person. Mm-hmm. I mean, I say that now compared to what I am now. I was super negative. I love people, and I was always light, but I had anger and I had frustration with things. And so I bent toward the negative. And one day my car broke down, way before cell phones. And I was out in the country, and my dad had given me a book to read that I just thrown in my back seat because I didn't want to read this book. And it was called The Magic of Thinking Big. And it was written in the 60s by Dr. David Schwartz. And I remember sitting in my car waiting for somebody to come by that I could flag down. And I started opening this book. And the universe obviously did this to me, for me.
For you.
To me and for me, because felt like I was being done to me then. And I just read the words about how, I remember this phrase where he said, most people carry a little stick and they just dig a hole wherever they go. They just dig and dig. I can still see the visual, how it clicked with me. And I realized, oh my God, I'm doing that. And I kept reading this book, and one of the exercises in it was to create index cards, a 60-second commercial for yourself. And you had to read it to yourself in the mirror every day. And I felt so stupid. I mean, it just felt so stupid. And I'm getting there. Yeah, I did, but it felt stupid.
Impressive.
And I did it. And I just I hope my roommate's not out there listening. And, and I still have those cards. Mm-hmm. I still have the original book. I got a lot of copies of that book for people after that. But that is the first exposure that I had to the power of affirmative gratitude, affirmative positive thinking. Now, positive thinking in itself doesn't get you a whole long ways down the road, like they thought it did in the 80s when they were promoting positive thinking. You got to deal with root cause issues. You don't slap lipstick on a pig and think it's, less than a pig because it's still a pig. But I will never forget the power of that first experience of affirming myself and being grateful for things and living in joy. So I'm glad to hear your story, and it really triggered mine because I had forgotten it, but I haven't thought about it in a long time. And I do also think that I know people who are always happy, always upbeat, who have mastered the ability. I got a friend, his name's Bob. He won't mind me mentioning his name. And that guy he's always upbeat. He's always happy. And I'm in awe of him because nothing seems to hold him down. And he would attribute it to, he's got a lot to be grateful for. And he thinks about it all the time and he focuses on it, and it's contagious.
Well, that's part of my reasoning too. It wasn't just to be positive or, it was like, I want to live in that state. Mm-hmm. And, I saw a little snippet Michelle Obama was speaking and saying, you have to plan your joy. You have to schedule your joy. I love that because, again, we can schedule our work. We can schedule our pain. But when it comes to joy and those type of things, it's harder. It's harder because it's not tangible. Or it's fleeting. And so that gratitude, that shift of your lens, going back to the lens we look through, that's what I was after. Is I didn't want to see the world as half empty. I wanted to see the positive, and I wanted to feel that and be in that. And so that was the way I thought it was. Like, I got to change what I say inside here.
Something told you weren't going to see it if you didn't change it.
Right.
That's really good.
And so we can go off. Here's another topic, manifestation. But it's the vibration and frequency you want to be in. What does that look like? And so, like we talked about, you start by just listing your gratitudes. I have little notebooks everywhere that I used to keep by my nightstand, and I've come across a few of them as I was cleaning things out. I would just list gratitudes at night. I would just go through and I'd have these long lists, and it's nice to go back and look at them. Oftentimes there's little things about the kids and what they did that day or what they said, or, just gratitude for them in general. But
there's always something to be grateful for.
Oh, yeah. And that's part of what you're doing is you're guiding your network up here, your patterns to seek it. Because if you start focusing on it, you think of what you're grateful for, you are programming your brain to look for it, your nervous system. Just like your nervous system is scanning for safety, you can also start to train it to scan for gratitude. So once the body feels safe, right? We all have, that's our foundation. Then we're open up. We get to get a playing field here of what we want to look for. We can continue to look for fearful things. We continue to look for, like, should I do this, or who's doing this to me, or whatever. Or we can say, this is where I have responsibility and I have, what do I want to say, autonomy or ownership, to say
agency.
That was the word I was thinking of, to create how I want to see the world and what kind of energy I want to feel and bring for myself and people around me.
Yeah. And I think that leads us to talking about how gratitude can coexist in hardship.
Completely.
And for me, it carries me through hardship, because hardship is hard, and it is, I don't want to glaze over the hardness of the hardship. And yet because I'm an empath, I feel all the feels. Once I feel all that, though, I'm ready to feel something different. And I want to know what this was here to teach me and how I can be grateful for the lesson, not the hardship, but the lesson of what I'm taking away and utilize it to be better in my life journey. And that's how I translate gratitude into out of hardship. It doesn't mean the hardship didn't happen and I don't still feel the pain.
Yeah. And let yourself feel it for a bit. You don't go right to, like, what lesson did I learn from here? It takes some time. Sometimes the body has to.
It actually pisses me off when people want to push me too fast.
Right.
Then just find your gratitude. I am.
I'll get there.
I understand how gratitude works, but we all have our own process.
Yeah.
So don't feel like it's a particular timeline. You find your rhythm.
See, yeah. So we want to just honor that. So
absolutely,
don't think you have to just instantly feel grateful.
Yeah, and I'll just finish up about my recent hardship is I've just adopted that it's always going to hurt, but the pain is no longer there. And the lessons are greater. I'm in gratitude for the lessons because they are greater than the pain.
Yeah.
And that is when you get to that spot in gratitude, I'm just telling you my experience, and I think it's true across the board for gratitude, then you have really, your life gets more fulfilled and more rich, and you're not stuck in the pain or the fear. And so that's one thing that gratitude can do for you, is it raises your frequency.
Well, and I think about, the Dalai Lama will say, life is suffering, and we're all here to help each other suffer less.
Yes.
So that sounds kind of negative, like, oh yeah, life's suffering. And then you look at the Dalai Lama as one of the most peaceful, joyful, smiling, that you can. I still love the joy book of him and Desmond Tutu, the bishop. when they get together, they've had such trauma and hardships in their countries and their life journeys. Desmond Tutu is no longer with us, but in a physical body here. But watching their documentary and reading their book, I watched the documentary like 3 or 4 times. What is it? The Joy. I think it was called
The
Joy.
joy.
They just laugh and they tease each other and they're
So
in
light.
joy. And that is what we're talking about here. Not that you're just going to be in la la land all the time, but we have that ability to be in that frequency, even amongst the hardships. And even, like you said, being able to give ourselves time and space to feel the hurt, cry the tears, feel the emotion, and to get to the other side to be grateful for.
I'll tell you I got goosebumps when you're telling that story. And I got to meet the Dalai Lama. I don't know if I ever told you that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And in Portland years and years ago. And you just triggered this memory in me. And it was so, there's no words except to say, I mean, I got goosebumps going on.
I see them.
They're there. His presence is gratitude. I can't explain it any other way. You just feel he embodies it like I wish to be able to embody it, where it's just glowing gratitude, and in the face of all the hardships that he has had to face, and for himself and his people. But I had forgotten that, and you just made that come up for me live on the air.
And that's another thing to think about. Like, when we're struggling in the moment, like, past memories of gratitude can help you in the current moment. So I literally watched someone in a session this morning take themselves back. You could see it in their skin and their face and their whole body. In the current moment, when they entered the session, they were tired, they were stressed, they were carrying the world. And when we went back for that moment, you just saw a lightness and a glow in the face and a softness in the forehead and the eyes. And that's what gratitude can do. It's in you all the time. And it's just bringing it back as more of a forefront and a constant.
I'm going back to the beginning of our podcast when we said gratitude is a learned behavior. And I want to change that. I want to change the statement, because I believe gratitude is a learned behavior in our physical bodies and in our physical minds. But I also believe that gratitude is a natural state of spirit.
Yes.
Because what you just described was that gratitude, that spirit coming through. Mm-hmm. And I believe that consciousness is just manifesting through us to recognize itself.
I get chills too, because I just was thinking earlier, I was like, when we actually look in the mirror and look beyond this physical state, that spirit is complete and whole and beautiful and isn't marred with all the challenges and the worries and the human condition we place on it. So can we look in the mirror and see that gratitude and that pure light and joy that is infinite and always ignited? Think of the third chakra.
Omnipresent.
Yeah, your third chakra, right? That light, that energy, that solar plexus. We have an infinite amount of energy and joy. It's remembering that.
Well, you talk about lenses. It's putting on that lens. And I want to do better with that. I think I have my routine, and I do, tap into spirit every day. But I love that. I love actually looking in the mirror and seeing it for what it is. I have gratitude for things outside of me a lot. And Melissa knows this, but I've attract a lot of animals to me. Owls have been around me a lot this week, and in the evenings and in the mornings on my walk. And I just love to give them gratitude. Crows have always been really present in my life. Deer, my dog. I'm just really grateful for kind of external, but I know I can do better to give myself, capital S, self gratitude, because I will beat myself up pretty quickly. But I think I could do better with my own inner gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah, because that is our first, I think about it, like I just said about my lists. I started more so including myself too.
Yeah, good.
That's our first thought. You're right. When it comes to gratitude, what are you grateful for?
Oh, the house.
My house. But we say the same
Food.
things, which those are good, right?
But see, that's why I flame out on journaling, because I'm like, I said these same things the last 8 weeks, and I feel the pressure because I'm not good enough, all that stuff. So this is very helpful for me.
Yeah,
this is like we're coaching ourselves.
I know. I found my gratitude list. I remember I'm thinking about that because I'm not much of a journaler. I think faster than I can write, so I get agitated. But maybe that's something I need more. When I would just make bullet points, right? And so I had kids and different things they do. And then I remember just starting to write positive words like strength, health, feeling good, those kind of things, just because I wanted to manifest more of that and I wanted to be in that. So that's what my gratitude. So I think when it comes to gratitudes, what does that mean to you? Like, yes, thankful for these things. Like we think about, Thanksgiving dinner, right? You have gratitude for the meal and all good stuff. And what would it look to take that gratitude to the inside?
Well, I think you've listed a few of those tools, right? The mindfulness.
Seeing beyond the physical.
I think the idea that we talked about earlier too is that there's always something to be grateful for, right? Look out that window. Look at that tree. It's stunning, right? In the fall here right now. The sun's out, even when it rains.
Yeah.
We talk about how we like the rain.
Love it.
We don't like it for 4 months straight generally, but we do love the rain, love what it does for us.
But that's both of our work showing up right now as both Scott and I are sitting here like, oh yeah, I love the rain. I love the trees, right? It sounds all like, but I just feel both of us kind of feeling in this wave of gratitude. There's like this little frequency of vibration here right now.
Yeah.
This has been our practice. This didn't happen overnight.
All right.
Right. We, both of us could agree I came from a negative foundation. And I, again, thankful for the awareness of that, but that going to come back to the lens. You and I being able to look out there and be grateful for that tree is because of our practices. I'm just going to say it, that decision or however I grabbed onto that and community. I had a session in a group just earlier today, and it's kind of this beautiful support group. And it was just awesome to watch everybody light up and support each other in hard times that a couple of our people in the group are having. And it was just like everybody chimed in to build the other one up and encourage. And it was just this beautiful support. That's the frequency. And I think our lens, when we look for more of that. And some people walk out there and don't see the tree and don't see the light.
Yeah, I'm smirking because we had a retreat participant that went with us to Mexico. And before they signed up, they checked in with me and they said, this isn't going to be like one of those things we're going to be like kumbayaing and giving everyone gratitude, or is it? And I said, no, absolutely not. It's not going to be. I semi-fibbed because our retreats aren't quite the kumbaya thing, but the same person, goosebumps again, left that retreat. And I'll tell you, that retreat, I have so much gratitude for that group and that retreat.
Magic, I just have to say
it was magic. And these people are friends now. They're out doing things together. And this same person was probably singing the greatest praises about the people and her experience.
The kumbaya experience.
Yeah, her own kumbaya experience. And so it is different for everybody. And there are tools that you can use where you're listening and you're talking to yourself and you're
catching your words of
just noticing
the frequency of your words.
Use prayer, use meditation, use your religious beliefs and whatever
All
you want.
That. And at the foundation, I'm going to come back to it because I said it when we did the fear topic too, is awareness.
This is our whole reason for our podcast existing.
It is.
It's awareness.
Awareness, because if you jump to just adding all the tools and trying to be grateful, but you're not aware how you talk to yourself or that you might have a negative vent most of the time, that's where the healing comes, to be able to just acknowledge. So my encouragement is hang out with yourself for a couple of days. Just notice the words you say to yourself.
Be curious.
Yeah, be curious.
It's interesting I did that instead of that. It's interesting I chose that phrase instead of another
right?
phrase.
Well, like that individual at the retreat, is to realize the lens that they looked through was a little bit of a nervousness of, what's this going to be like? And their lens is now shifted to that experience. That's why we have retreats. That's why we do coaching and do this support for people, is because it's not to change you. It's to just, you become aware, you become alive in this human experience.
We're not giving you the pathway. We're not telling you do this. We're giving you suggestions to awaken, suggestions for you to discover your own self-awareness, for your own experiences.
And what that looks like. Not
and
what
we
it
get
looks
to
like
witness it.
Yes.
That's the best.
Yeah.
That's the best. So June
Oh, yes.
2026 seems like the appropriate time is our next retreat in Sedona, Arizona.
This is our advertisement. In
this is our
podcast.
Yes, brought to you by Vital Edge Wellness Coaching. So sign up for our retreat. Find us at vitaledgewellnesscoaching.com. Check it out. I'm so excited. We already have several signups. It's very early in the process, so we are going to sell this out. And come experience your own self-awareness. We would be so grateful to have you come and discover your own gratitude. And I think I'm going to leave you with 3 things I'm grateful for.
All right.
I am really grateful to Melissa for partnering with me in Vital Edge Wellness Coaching in this podcast. We are having such a blast, and we didn't even know what we were doing. We still don't really know what we're doing. But this is just a great time. We get together every week and we record a couple of episodes, and we have accountability to this process, which is bringing up a lot of gratitude. So that's one thing I'm grateful for. The second thing I'm grateful for is my ability to move my body. And I don't take that for granted. Every morning in my yoga practice, I realize I've been practicing yoga for 22 years, I think this year. And I can do things now that I couldn't do then, but it's been so incremental that all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, I can do this thing. But it took time, right? And I'm grateful that I stuck with my yoga practice and my mindfulness morning practice, because it really feeds my soul and opens up things for the rest of my life. And third, I'm just grateful for the people in my life in general, my family, my friends, my colleagues, and that community is expanding. And I'm really grateful for all of you who show me so much support and have been in my life and are coming into my life. I appreciate you all. What are your 3? Well, I know you only get pick 3.
I wanted to say ditto, and then I'll add to those 3. I'm grateful for you. I know the listeners, and that's what inspires us, because we know we're getting feedback. I know we don't see a lot of comments, but we get our feedback in our circles, and this is what inspires us to be vulnerable with our own topics and own things to talk about this. Like I said, we don't know what we're doing, but this is how it's showing up. And so we're leaning into it. So I'm very grateful for that, and working with Scott. Very grateful. Always grateful every day. My 2 beings that I think came through me to have their experiences they give me gratitude every day, just being their mama. And third, I would say my journey.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for even the rough parts that I was able to get through, and now look at them with gratitude and see the healing. And even if it's little snippets at a time, I see it and I feel it. So I'm grateful for that access and that awareness.
We appreciate being here today. Please rate us, leave us a comment, and we will love to have you share this with your friends. Negative too. If you don't like it, tell us about it. I know she doesn't want to hear it, but we do want to know. And we want you to share this with your friends and family, and let us know what you think, and come join us on a retreat at some point, and keep spiraling up in your gratitude. It's all part of the journey. And don't forget to take care of each other along the way. And especially don't forget to include yourself in that care.
Namaste.
See you next time.
Yes, namaste.
Thanks for tuning in to Rise and Thrive, a podcast by Vital Edge Wellness Coaching. If you found this episode meaningful, please rate, review, and share it with someone who might need it. For upcoming retreats and to join the Vital Edge Wellness community, head to vitaledgewellnesscoaching.com. Let's rise and thrive together.